Good morning, dear student. Welcome back in the science class. Now, in today's class, we are going to discuss the next important organelles, or you can say the important part of the cell, that is called the nucleus. And nucleus, this is also known as the you can say the central part or the head office of a cell. So, this is known as the head office. Head office of a cell. Why it is called? Because all the cellular activities can be controlled by the nucleus, and this nucleus is a double membrane organelles or the part of the cell which have the central position in the animal cell, but the position of a nucleus in the plant cell is towards the periphery side or along the cell membrane. And why it is? Because of due to the prominent or large shape of vacuoles, because the vacuoles are present in the plant cell, and that is in a prominent or large size or large shape. Due to that, what happened? It move the nucleus towards the periphery side. So in the animal cell, the position of nucleus is a central position or at the center, but the position of the nucleus in the plant cell is towards the periphery side, and this is due to what? Due to presence of prominent large vacuoles in the case of a plant cell. So as I told you that this is nucleus is a double membrane organelles. It have double membrane that is called the outer membrane, and this membrane is called the nucleus membrane. The membrane around the cell is called the cell membrane, and the membrane or the layer around the nucleus is called the nuclear membrane. And this nuclear membrane is a double layer membrane. First that is outermost layer, and this is the inner membrane or inner nuclear membrane. You can say the outer nuclear membrane and the inner nuclear membrane. Now next, then you can see this is the small pores on the nucleus. So these are known as the nuclear pore. These are nuclear pores. And due to the presence of this nuclear pore or holes, this allows to move inside and outside from the nucleus to the cytoplasm, or cytoplasm to the nucleoplasm, allow to pass some material. The nuclear membrane has pores which allows to transfer of material from inside the nucleus to its outside, and that is to the cytoplasm. And this nucleus contains the thread-like structures that is called chromosomes, and these chromosomes are entangled in the form of thread-like structures that is called what? Chromatin. This you can see this thread-like structures that is called what? Chromatin. But when the cell is about the cell division, then this entangled thread-like chromosomes arranged in a rod-like structures that is called chromosomes, and it arranged like that. And this thread-like structures take the shape of like this rod-like structure that is called what? Chromosomes. This is called what? Chromosomes. This the thread-like form is called chromatin, and this chromatin is converted or take the shape of this rod-like structures when it is about the cell division. Means इस normal condition में है ना, जो क्रोमोजोम्स है वो एक थ्रेड लाइक के फॉर्म में रहता है, बट जब सेल डिवाइड होने को होती है उस टाइम इट कैन टेक द शेप ऑफ this type that is called chromosomes. And you know that this chromosomes is what? The inheritance for characters. Means it can take or pass the characters from parents to their offspring or in a next generation. And these chromosomes are present in the form of RNA and DNA. So chromosomes, how many numbers of chromosomes in human being? We already discussed in the 8th class. Very in detail we discussed about the chromosomes, number of chromosomes. So number of chromosomes in human being is 46, and it became a 23 pairs. So out of them 44 is the autosomes chromosomes, which is responsible for the body characters, and 2 chromosomes means one pair XX and XY that is responsible for the sex of a baby, means either it is male or a female. So total number of chromosomes is 46 and total pair that is 23. So out of 44 yani 22 pair is responsible for the body characters and one pair that is responsible for the characters of a baby, sex of a baby. Now the nucleus contains the chromosomes visible this rod like, and at the center in the nucleus you can see the black spot that is called the nucleolus, and some matrix or fluids that is filled in the nucleus. This fluid is known as a nucleoplasm. Okay, the matrix or the subfluid filled in a cell, that is cell cytoplasm or protoplasm, and this is inside the nucleus is called the nucleoplasm. So nucleoplasm, this is called the chromatin or chromosomes. This is known as a nucleolus, and this small pores you can see that here, that is called the nuclear pore, and these are the double membrane nuclear membrane. So now next you can see this the nucleus, see the page number 62. The nucleus contains the chromosomes which are visible as rod shaped structures only when the cell is about to divide. Chromosomes contain the information for inheritance of the characters from parents to the next generation in the form of DNA and or you can DNA or molecules in the form of DNA molecules. So what is the full form of DNA? DNA, the full form of DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. Full form of DNA means deoxyribonucleic, and RNA, that is a ribonucleic acid. So these chromosomes contain the genetic materials in the form of DNA or in a RNA. So DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA means ribonucleic acid. Now chromosomes are the composed of DNA and protein, and these chromosomes are composed of this chromosomes is composed of DNA and protein. Okay, जो ये chromosomes बने होते हैं, chromosomes it is made up of or composed of DNA plus protein, and DNA molecules contain the information necessary for the constructing and organizing a cell. The functional segment of DNA are called genes. Functional segment of DNA is called genes. So this question may be asked in exam. What is the functional unit or functional segment of DNA? So gene is the functional segment of DNA. So as you know that this is the chromosomes, and here this functional segments or DNA content. So this is called what? Genes. These are genes are present on this chromatin or chromosomes, and these chromosomes are the functional segment of DNA. Now in the cell which is not dividing, this DNA is present as a part of a chromatin material. As I told you that जब cell ऐसे होती है normal, तो उसमें ना chromosomes या DNA is in a form of what? Chromatin or a thread like form. So chromatin materials is visible as the entangled mass of the thread like structures. Whenever the cell is about to divide, the chromatin material get condensed and it take rod shaped structures, that is called what? Chromosomes. Now next the nucleus. So this nucleus is play a very important role, very crucial role in the what? Cell division. Means जो cell divide होती है तो cell division में सबसे main जो role play करता है, that is a nucleus, and this nucleus is discovered by who? By whom? This nucleus is discovered by the Robert Brown, as I earlier discussed in the first class, that the discovery of a cell and the discovery of other cell organelles. So this nucleus was discovered by the Robert Brown. So nucleus play a central role in the cellular reproduction, the process by which a single cell divides and forms two new cell. It is play a very crucial role for what? For the cell division. Now next, on the basis of the development of the nucleus, the organisms or the cell can be classified into two categories, that is a prokaryotic and a eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell, this prokaryotic word is made up of the two words. Pro means primitive and karyons means nucleus. Pro means primitive and the karyon nucleus. Pro means primitive and the karyon means nucleus. So prokaryotic means the type of cell in which a nucleus is not in a well defined form, or nucleus is not surrounded by the nuclear membrane, or you can say that the nuclear membrane is absent. Means simply this chromosomes found in a scattered form, that is not surrounded by this double layer membrane. That type of cell is called prokaryotic cell. For example, primitive types of organisms or unicellular organisms like amoeba, chlamydomonas, paramecium, this all are the examples of a prokaryotic cell. So next, that is eukaryotic. Eukaryotic cell means some advanced or some developed or multicellular organisms in which the cell have well defined nucleus, or a nucleus is surrounded by the double layer nuclear membrane, or you can say that the nucleus is in a well developed form. That type of a cell is called a eukaryotic cell, and organisms whose body is composed of this type of cell is called eukaryotes. Okay, so I think it is clear for everyone, prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell means the type of cell in which the nucleus is not surrounded by the nuclear membrane, or you can say that nucleus is not in a well defined form or well developed form, or you can say that the nucleus membrane is absent. So that type of cell is known as a prokaryotic cell. So all the single cell organisms like amoeba, paramecium, chlamydomonas, bacteria, these are some examples of what? Examples of a prokaryotic cell or prokaryotic organisms. And eukaryotic organisms means some advanced or multicellular organisms in their body. The cell have the nucleus, and that nucleus is surrounded by the nuclear membrane, this double membrane, or nuclear is present in a well defined form, in a well developed form. That type of a cell is called a eukaryotic cell, and organisms is known as a eukaryote. Now next we discuss about the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm means what? It is a fluid matrix or jelly-like substance, that a fluid in between the cell membrane to the plasma membrane. That all fluid or matrix is called the water liquid is called cytoplasm. So in this cell organelles, this region it is called, this region means region between the water cell membrane and nucleus membrane is called water cytoplasm, which consists of some fluid like material. The cytoplasm is the fluid contained inside the plasma membrane. It also contains many specialized cell organelles. Each of these organelles perform the specific cell, a specific function for the cell. So that liquid materials that inside the cell or in between the nuclear membrane or a plasma membrane, that matrix fluid contains some living organelles, living body floating on that is called the cell organelles, and all these cell organelles are responsible for performing a separate or a specific function for the cell. Cell organelles are enclosed by the membrane. In prokaryotes, beside the absence of the defined nuclear region, the membrane bound cell organelles are also absent. Means another difference between the prokaryotes and eukaryote is that in the prokaryotic organisms or prokaryotes, this cell organelles or membrane bound cell organelles are absent, but in the eukaryotic cell or in eukaryotes, well developed double membrane cell organelles are present. And third difference between the prokaryote and eukaryote is about the water chromosomes. Means in the prokaryotic organisms or in the prokaryotic cell, only the single chromosomes are present, but in eukaryotic organisms the number of chromosomes numerous, more than one chromosomes are present. So these are some difference between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic organisms. Now next we are going to discuss about the cell organelles. So in that cell organelles, first we discuss about the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so first we discuss about the endoplasmic reticulum. Everybody draw this diagram of nucleus and note down this. So next cell organelles is what? Endoplasmic reticulums. In short, generally it is known as ER. So it is a large network of membrane bound tubes and seeds. Means the structures of the endoplasmic reticulums is a large network of membrane bound tubes and seeds. It looks like a longer tubules and or round or oblong bags or vesicle like structures, and these are attached to the nucleus like that. This is the nucleus. Okay, this is this nucleus, and it is like this. This long tube like vesicles or bag like sheets. So this type of structures you can see in your textbook here in a cell, this one. So now sometimes what happens, so there are the two different types of endoplasmic reticulums. So there are the two different types of ER. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, that is simply as ER. And the second one is a rough endoplasmic reticulum. It is simply known as RER. So now this the classification of two different type of endoplasmic reticulum. This is based on the presence of ribosomes, and as we know that this ribosomes are also found freely in the cell or in a cytoplasm. So this the role of this rhizoplasm is what? As we know that this ribosomes are the site for the protein synthesis. Means the proteins formed in the body, that is formed where? That is inside the cell, where it is at the ribosomes. Means you can say that the ribosomes are the site for the protein synthesis. So on the basis of the presence of ribosomes, the endoplasmic reticulums classify into two parts. Smooth endoplasmic reticulums means the type of endoplasmic reticulums where the ribosomes are absent. Means the surface of the endoplasmic reticulums or tubal or oblongs, vesicles, bags are smooth to see. So that type of endoplasmic reticulum is called a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So this endoplasmic reticulum, this one, this is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Why it is a smooth? Because there will be no presence of this ribosomes granules on the surface of endoplasmic reticulums. But if these ribosomes are present on the surface, so due to the presence of ribosomes on the surface looks like a rough. So that's why that type of endoplasmic reticulums is known as rough endoplasmic reticulums. Why it is? Because due to presence of ribosomes, and due to the presence of ribosomes, this or you can say the rough endoplasmic reticulums help in the protein synthesis, means it help in the formation of manufacture of protein. So these are the two different types of endoplasmic reticulums. Now the manufacture, then this endoplasmic reticulums, smooth endoplasmic reticulums forms water, some protein, fats and lipids. So that protein, fats and lipids molecules are used for the formation or for the synthesis of a membrane, and that process is known as what? Membrane biogenesis. Membrane biogenesis. Now, काफी time this question will be asked in exams. What do you mean by the membrane biogenesis? So membrane biogenesis means the phenomena of formation of, the manufacturing of a membrane by the fats and lipids formed by the smooth endoplasmic reticulums. This phenomena, this process is known as what? Membrane biogenesis. So now note down. So, as I told you that this is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it helps in the formation of some lipids and fats molecules and some proteins formed by this rough endoplasmic reticulums. So, the smooth endoplasmic reticulums help in the formation of fats or the lipids. Some of these proteins and lipids help in the building of the cell membrane. This process is known as a membrane biogenesis. Yeah, you can write like this. Some of proteins and lipids formed by the endoplasmic reticulums help in the building, help in the formation, help in the manufacture of what? Cell membrane. And this process, this phenomena is called what? Membrane biogenesis. So it's clear what is biogenesis, membrane biogenesis. It is a question in your exercise, textbook exercise maybe. means what you mean by the membrane biogenesis. So membrane biogenesis means the endoplasmic reticulums help in the formation of fats, protein and the lipids. These fats, lipids and proteins help in the formation of a cell membrane. This process is known as what? Membrane biogenesis. Now next, what is the function of this endoplasmic reticulum. So now for function, you can see this page number 63, the last paragraph. So the function of the smooth is to serve as the function of endoplasmic reticulum is to serve as the channel for the transport of material, especially the protein, between the various regions of the cytoplasm or between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Means it helps in the formation of proteins and other materials. So where it is needed, it can be transported to the whole part of the body, or to the cytoplasm, or from the cytoplasm to the nucleus. The endoplasmic reticulums also function as the cytoplasmic framework, providing a surface for some of the biochemical activities of the cell. And in liver cell of the some group of the animals called the vertebrates, smooth endoplasmic reticulums play a very crucial role in detoxifying many poisons and drugs. Means this ribosomes, rough endoplasmic reticulums is a help in the synthesis of protein. This helps in the formation of fats and lipids, and this is also help, this smooth endoplasmic reticulums also help in detoxifying of many poisons and drugs in our body. Means whatever the poisons and drugs is formed in the body, that will be purified or detoxified by the by the role of this smooth endoplasmic reticulums. So this is the role and the structures and functions of smooth endoplasmic reticulums. I hope you everybody got it, this all things, types of endoplasmic reticulums on the basis of presence of ribosomes and its functions. So it's already things, all things are given in your textbook, and you note down this in your notebook. Now next we are going to discuss about another cell organelles, that is Golgi apparatus. So first you note down this one. Next, the Golgi apparatus. This Golgi apparatus generally or commonly it is known as a Golgi body. Why it is called a Golgi body? Because first time it was discovered by the Camillo Golgi. It was discovered by, means this cell organelles was discovered by the scientist whose name was Camillo Golgi. So on the basis of that, this cell organelles is known as a Golgi apparatus or Golgi body. Golgi body means the structures, it consists of a system of membrane bound vesicles or flattened shacks arranged approximately parallel to each other in the stalks called cisternes. These membranes often have the connections with the membranes of endoplasmic reticulums and therefore constitute another portions of a complex cellular membrane system. Means generally it is connected to water, it is connected to the endoplasmic reticulums. The material synthesized near to the endoplasmic reticulum is packed and dispatched to the various target site and outside of the cell through the Golgi apparatus. This is the function of a Golgi apparatus. So Golgi apparatus means it helps in the packaging and the dispatching of various cellular molecules, materials synthesized by the endoplasmic reticulums and sent to where? Inside and outside to the target side of the cell. Second one, its function includes the storage. It also helps in the storage, modifications and the packaging of a product in the vesicles. That you can see page number 64. This all the functions are given. This is about the structures of Golgi apparatus and these are the functions of Golgi apparatus. So you can note down. So it is helps in the function, help in the storage, modification, packaging of a product in the vesicles. In some cases, some complex sugar can be converted into simple sugars by this Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus is also involved in the formation of lysosomes. Means this Golgi apparatus is also help in the formation of lysosomes. So what are the main functions of lysosomes? Lysosomes help in the packaging and dispatching. It is also help in the storage, transportation and packaging of materials formed in the smooth endoplasmic reticulums and sent to the target site inside and outside the cell. It is also help in converting the complex sugar into the simpler sugar, and it is help in the formation of lysosomes. So these are the function of what this Golgi apparatus or Golgi body. So now these are the second another cell organelles. So I am sending the photo of a image of this cell organelles, and you can draw from there in your notebook. So I think for today it's enough. We discuss nucleus, endoplasmic reticulums and Golgi apparatus. Other remaining cell organelles, lysosomes, mitochondria and plastids and vacuoles we discuss in a next class. So I hope you everybody understood this all things about the structures and functions of nucleus, then endoplasmic reticulums and Golgi apparatus. If you have feeling any problem, any doubt regarding this, you can ask me without any hesitation. Okay, goodbye, have a nice day.